Voices there from Boulder, Colorado. Well, Hussam Ayloush is the national chairman of the Syrian American Council. He's in Anaheim, California at the moment. Welcome to the program. Thanks for your time. Presumably, ultimately, the solution has to be political somehow, doesn't it? Airstrikes cannot be a complete answer.
Absolutely. Airstrikes cannot be the answer, but unfortunately, before it gets political, because it's a little bit difficult to communicate with ISIS politically, it will have to be a solution on the ground. There must be some military engagement on the ground with ISIS. And fortunately for all of us, the Syrian people have said they're willing to do that engagement. So all they need from us is an international community support led by the US, where we can provide training and military support so they can finish the job with ISIS.
You say all we need, but that's a pretty big thing, isn't it? Also, presumably, somehow the funding going to IS has to be stopped, and somehow local populations have to be encouraged to turn against them.
From our contacts in Syria and throughout Syria, the popular support for ISIS is very low, considering how brutal they are, how aggressive they are, how forceful in forcing their ideology and their views on people.
Although, forgive me, a lot of people are telling our correspondents when we can speak to them that they prefer IS in some ways to the Assad government.
Well, I mean, the problem is we should give the Syrian people a choice other than Assad brutality or ISIS extremism. And that choice exists, and that is the revolutionaries, the moderate Syrian revolutionaries who support democracy, freedom, a pluralistic Syria. The sooner we can support that large group and segment of the Syrian population, the sooner we can get rid of ISIS and Assad at the same time.
What do you make of this group, the Khorasan group, who it's claimed were planning attacks on Western passenger jets? There are people on the ground saying they have never heard of this group. They doubt if it exists.
I don't know if I doubt it exists or not. It's too soon to announce that, but certainly, I personally have not heard about it before. The association claimed by the U.S. is that this is the Khorasan group, or the Khorasan group is part of Al-Qaeda affiliate in Syria, which is Al-Nusra Front. Of course, all of us have heard of Al-Nusra Front, but certainly not of the Khorasan group. So that tells me it seems there are several agendas being implemented at the same time through the airstrikes as we speak. We should refocus as the international community, and specifically my own country and my own government, the US. The focus should be on eliminating the threat of ISIS, and that would require support from the Syrian people. But at the same time, we cannot completely eliminate ISIS without eliminating the reason there was a fertile ground for it, and that is the Assad brutality against the Syrian people.
Hussam Ayloush, thank you.